So just a quick video here looking at the correlation. To do this, it's assuming you already know how to draw a scatter plot, so we're not going to cover that in this section. We're just going to look at what the scatter plot tells you. In particular, these are done by eye. So if we've got a scatter plot which looks like this, we can see there is pretty much a straight line going from here to here. It's close to a straight line, so we're looking at a strong positive linear correlation. Strong, closer to a straight line, positive goes up, which means as your explanatory variable increased, so did your response variable. It's linear because it's close to a straight line, and the word correlation or relationship or association just depends what the question is asking for. A thing that's worth noting is that if the dots are like this, or if the dots are not as steep, but if they go something like this, it's still close to a straight line, so it's still a strong positive correlation. The angle of the straight line doesn't matter. So after we've done our strong positive correlation, we see in here we've still got a straight line going through this angle, but the dots aren't as close to the straight line. So this is a moderate positive linear correlation. We can still see that there is a relationship or an association or a correlation between them, but it's not as close to a straight line, so it's not as strong. This would show that there is evidence that an increase in x does result in an increase of y, or it's correlated to an increase in y, but it's not as strong a correlation as beforehand. Weak positive correlation, we can still see the line going this way, but the dots are much more spread out. Where this is difficult, if you said this was weak or this was moderate, you're probably going to be given the answer correct. If you need to find a precise thing, look up a video later on R and R squared, and it will tell you how to do it precisely. No correlation means there's no straight line between them. There's no relationship between x and y. Weak negative linear correlation. Negative now means as this thing gets bigger, this one gets smaller, and there's a weak correlation because it's spread out away from that straight line. Way to think of a negative correlation is possibly time spent shopping and money left in your wallet. The longer you spend shopping, the less money you're going to have at the end. Moderate negative just means it's negative again, but it's closer to a straight line because these dots are closer into where our line would be. And a strong correlation is really close to a straight line. A couple of things to be careful of. If it was an exact straight line up or down, it could be called a perfect correlation. You're not going to see that real often in real life, but it's possible to come up in a textbook. And if you have dots that curve or curve down, then that was not a linear correlation. It was curved. You could cover that in methods. We don't do it for general maths.